Okay, today's topic we are going to discuss about IEEE 802.11 MAC sublayer. So according to this, in the previous class we discussed about wireless LAN. So in which we discussed architecture. Previous class what we discussed, architecture of IEEE 802.11. So now second important topic is MAC MAC sublayer. So what does it define about? So MAC sublayer is nothing but it will make your stations or systems identified in the network with a unique number that is called as a MAC ID or MAC number. Okay. So this layer, according to wireless LAN, the standard, which is IEEE 802.11, defines this MAC sublayer, defines two sublayers according to this standard. MAC sublayer is divided into two sections or two sublayers are there. First one is DFS. This is DCF, and second one is PCF. Okay. Now what is this? Let us see. So the first one is distributed coordination function. Distributed coordination function. And second one is point coordination function. Second one is point coordination function. So what it is, according to IEEE standard, the MAC sublayer is divided into two parts or two sections. The first one is a DCF, which is nothing but distributed coordination function. And second one, it is point coordination function called as PCF, denoted as PCF. So this is what we are going to dealing with. Okay, and it is part of data link layer. So as I told you in the previous class, that is IEEE 802.11 is dealing with the two layers only. The two layers are nothing but data link layer and a physical layer. So these two are, that is MAC sublayer is part of data link layer. Okay. Now under data link layer, MAC sublayer will be there. So the MAC sublayer again divided by, according to IEEE standards, it is divided by two sections. The first one is DCF, second one is PCF. Okay. Now get into the details of this one by one. Let us see. The first one is distributed coordination function. So what is the purpose of it? How it works? Let us see. First one is distributed coordination function. This is what we are going to discuss today. So according to the IEEE, one of the protocols, we can call it as a protocol also, DCF and VCF, both are protocols also, we can call up them. So according to IEEE, the first protocol is DCF. So what happens here is, it uses one kind of a medium to access. So the medium is CSMA CA. Okay, so it is the access medium which is adapted by the distributed coordination function. So CSMA CA is the access medium which is used in distributed coordination function. Okay, so what happens here is, why it is not using. So in previous classes I told you that IEEE 802.3, that is wide LAN. So Ethernet uses another access medium which is CD, but whereas wireless LAN, it is using CA. So why distributed coordination function is not using CSMA/CD? Because distributed coordination function does not have the capacity to detect the collisions. Okay, so that's why it will not use CSMA CD as its access medium. So distributed coordination function will use access medium. Access medium is nothing but the channel which is going to be accessed. Okay, so what happens here is, CSMA CA, as we know that it is carrier sensing multiple access with collision avoidance. Okay, so what is happening in the CSMA CA? CSMA CA, we will be sensing, let us say that there is one kind of a channel is there, or some connection is there, LAN connectivity. There is one station and there is one station. This is A and this is B. So what is happening? This station will sense the carrier up to this point only. It will not sense all the channel. Similarly, this station will sense over here itself. It will not sense all the lines, all the channel. So what has happened? First, it will send one carrier sensing. It is one kind of a sensing signal where it will be checking whether the channel is busy or not, whether the network line connection is busy or not. It will check that one. After checking it, if it is busy, what happens? If it is busy, it will wait. Okay. If it is busy, if the channel is busy, it will wait for a certain random amount of time. So after the channel is free, after the network is free, then it will send the frame to the other stations or intended stations with some kind of a collision avoidance algorithms. So what are the collision avoidance algorithms? See, it uses one kind of a topic which is there, that is polling. Polling is one kind of a concept which is used in CSMA CA as part of MAC sublayer, which is used for avoiding the collisions. The concept which is used over distributed coordination function is polling, which is used over here. So what is polling? Polling is nothing but there will be some stations will be considered who are intended or who are interested to send the data. Okay, we will be considering only those stations which are ready to send the packets. So the other stations will not be considered as part of polling concept. Okay. So according to distributed coordination function, why it is not using CSMS CD? There are three reasons for them. Okay. There are three reasons for which CSMS CD is not being used as an access medium as part of distributed coordination function. So the first one is so what happens here is for using collision detection, it needs high bandwidth. Second one, so these are the reasons why it is not using CSMS CD. So second one is so due to hidden stations. Next one. So third case is distance between stations are large enough. So these are the three things on which we can say that CSMA CD is not being used in distributed coordination function as the access medium. Due to these three problems, distributed coordination function will use CSMA CA. So what it has a high bandwidth. So why CSMA CD is requiring more bandwidth? Because it needs more bandwidth so that it can detect the collision. So to and from will be done. Okay. But here there will be a carrier sensing which will be avoiding. In CSMSCA, it will be trying to avoid the collisions. Okay. So based on these three problems, CSMSCD is not being used in these cases. Okay. One second. One second. So as I told you, so what happens here is in distributed coordination function, it uses ad hoc networks. Okay, which type of a network will be used? Ad hoc networks will be used. So what is the purpose of ad hoc network? Ad hoc networks or ad hoc network will be used as part of distributed coordination function. One second, one second. Let me share this screen. There's a problem, network issues are there. So what is happening? Let me check this. Discussing, yeah. So coming to this is what we discussed in the previous class, that is extended service set and basic service set. So now this is what we are discussing. So according to the MAC sublayers, it has been divided into two sections, that is DCF and PCF. You observe here MAC sublayer, which has been mentioned here, that is coordination function, point coordination function and distributed coordination function. Okay. Now we are discussing about distributed coordination function. So according to distributed coordination function, it uses CSMA-CA as the access method. So it is not implementing CSMA-CD for three reasons, that is collision destruction, that the station must be able to send data and receiving stations should know what will happen. According to DCF, before sending a frame, the source station. So what is happening? Before sending any frame, so what happens? The source station must sense the carrier or the medium. Okay, sense the carrier or the medium by checking its frequency by using one of the strategies called as back off until the channel is idle. So what happens if any station senses that there is something is happening with that signal, that is there is some kind of a communication is happening in over that medium, then back off algorithm will be used which will be making the station to wait for a random amount of time after the system being idle. That is, after the stations who has been using the medium, they will be, what they are going to see, they will be seeing something like the channel is being busy. So one of the stations will be setting, all the stations, remaining stations will be in a waiting mode. Then after the channel is free, then there will be a concept of sending the frames. So you observe here in the first point, before sending a frame, the source station senses the medium by checking the energy level at the carrier frequency. The channel uses a persistent strategy with the backup algorithm until the channel is idle. After the station is found to be idle, the station waits for a period of time called the distribution interframe space. Then the station sends a control frame called the request to send. So what is happening here? According to distributed coordination function, how the implementation or the working of this distributed coordination function will be defined something like this. So let me stop this share. So what will happen here is, this is a one station and this is another station. So according to DCF, what will happen is, there is one kind of a diagram is there. Let me check 1 second. Yeah. DIFS will be there. Okay. I think everyone able to see the screen. So DIFS, SIFS will be there. SIFS, SI. So what are they? We will be discussing. So after DFS, we will send to next from this, it will be sent here, and from here it will be sent back to here. Then again it will be sent. This one. And this. Okay. This is RTS, this is CTS, and after that data will be sent. Next after that ACQ. This is acknowledgement. So what is happening here is, after station is being found idle, the station waits for a period of time. Okay, waits for a period of time. The time is called as distributed interframe space. What is that? Distributed interframe space. Okay. This is called as DIFS, is called as distributed interframe space. This is nothing but waiting time. Okay, it is a waiting time of a station. This is source, this is destination station. So it will wait for a certain period of time before it is going to send. Okay, it is going to send the data. So what happens? DIFS is one kind of an interframe space, that is the time. After that, it will check. Okay. After that, what will happen? It will wait for DIFS. Then the station sends a control frame called the request to send, RTS. So what is this RTS? Is nothing but request to send. So what happens here is, after waiting certain period of time, the source station sends a control signal, okay, control signal to the destination station that I want to send. It will send a request to send the data. So it will send a request that it is intended to send a data to the destination. So what happens? It will send a signal. Now it is part of the destination. Now what happens here is, after receiving the request to send signal, and it will wait for a period of time called a short interframe space. Okay, the destination, after receiving the request by the destination, it will wait for a time. What is this time? Short interframe space. So what happens here is, before sending a request, that is before sending a data, we are checking, we are sending a request to the destination that I want to send a data. So after receiving the request, the destination will wait for a certain period of processing this request. Yes or no? To process this request, it needs some time. So for that time is nothing but a short interframe space is one kind of a time which is used by the destination system. Okay. After short interframe space, what happens here is, it will send a signal to the source station that yes, you are supposed to send a, this is one kind of a signal that is clear to send. So RTS is request to send, CTS is clear to send. So it will, the destination station will send a response to the source station that yes, you are supposed to send, you are clear, that is your request has been processed and you can send the data. That is what the signal is sent in the form of CTS. Okay. Now what have happened? The destination has sent CTS signal. Now the source station will process it, CTS. So CTS will be processed for short interface time, interframe space, sorry. So what is this? It is a short interframe space. It is one kind of a time where this response have been processed. Then what happens? The source station will send the data. Actual data will be sent. So what happens after receiving the data from the destination station? It will check all the details, that is processing the data. That is after receiving the data at the destination. Now destination station will send an acknowledgement to the source station. Okay, destination station will send an acknowledgement that I have received data from your station. That is what happens. This is what is happening in the or working of distributed coordination function. So according to distribution coordination function, what is happening is, I will repeat once again. Let me elaborate all these words. What are they? Then I will. First one, DIFS, SIFS, next CTS, RTS, next we have ACK, that is acknowledgement. This is acknowledgement and this is request to send. This is clear to send. This is short interframe space and this is distributed interframe space. Okay. So what happens here is, whenever any station wants to send the data over the medium which is using a method called as CSMA-CA, according to that, there is one kind of a thing will happen. Before sending a data by a particular station, it has to wait for a certain period of time because it needs to check whether the medium is free or not, or the channel is busy or idle. So for that, it will send a signal. Kindly mute yourself, everyone. Students, mute yourself. I'm listening some voice. Okay. So what is happening is, according to the distributed coordination function, it will wait for a certain period of time. That is, the time is called as a distributed interframe space. So it is a waiting time to send a request to the destination station that I want to send a data. The source station is sending a request to the destination station that I want to send a data. So the request will be sent to the destination station. So destination station will use some time. Okay, it will take time for processing this request. That time is nothing but the short interframe space. After the time is completed and the processing time is completed, next the destination station will send a CTS signal to the source station. So what is this CTS signal? That is clear to send. Okay, source station is requesting to send and destination station is sending another signal, that is you are supposed to send, clear to send. So after receiving the CTS signal, the source station will prepare the data by using some time. So it will not send immediately. It will take time. It will prepare the data and it will send the data to the destination. After the data has been received at the destination station will be acknowledged, that it will send an acknowledgement that the source station, that is I received the data. Okay, I received the data. It will be sent to the source station. This is the working of distributed coordination function.
Sir, just that class 1, the ACK.
Who is this?
Class 1, ACK, what you written in the front?
ACK.
Yeah.
ACK is nothing but acknowledgement. Acknowledgement, that is nothing but I received the data. It is sending a message that I received the data. That is an acknowledgement. So when you pay something, when you pay for something or when you receive something, you will be given with some slip. Yes or no? When you buy something, you will be getting some receipt in the form of an acknowledgement. Similarly, when the data is received by the destination station will be sending an acknowledgement to the source station that I received the data. Okay. This is the working of distributed coordination function. In the upcoming classes, we are going to see some other topics. Okay. This is all for today. Thank you one and all.